Hello, everyone. This is Sean Smith from the Smith Law Firm, and I wanted to jump on here really quick to talk about the Bill Cosby criminal case. Some of you may know that today, June 30th, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his conviction for sexual assault. And furthermore, they ordered that he not be retried and released from prison. Now, what's going on in this case is his lawyers appealed the decision, the conviction, when he was tried criminally for sexual assault in 2015. They alleged a couple of different arguments. One, they said that the women who testified him improperly biased the jury. And two, that the 2015 criminal case should have never been brought against him. They alleged these two arguments based on a 2005 agreement that Cosby had with the prosecutors in a civil case that some of the alleged victims brought against Cosby. Basically, what happened was the former prosecutors back in 2005, a prosecutor by the last name of Castor, had made a promise to Cosby and his lawyers that they would not prosecute him criminally so that he would not be able to avail himself of a self-incrimination defense if and when he was sued civilly. So what that means is a victim sued him civilly, but had not the prosecutor granted him or promised him that they would not prosecute him, Mr. Cosby would have invoked his right against self-incrimination in the civil case, and the petitioner in the civil case may or may not have won that case. Now, as you know, a civil case is not a case where you're subject to prison. A civil case is a case for money damages. But the prosecutor talked to the alleged victim who sued Cosby civilly and agreed to not prosecute Mr. Cosby in order that he could be prosecuted civilly for money damages, and he would not be able to avail himself of the self-incrimination defense. So ultimately what happened was the Supreme Court said, hey, look, you promised this defendant back in 2005 that if he made some admissions against himself, that means if he incriminated himself, you would not prosecute him criminally. He did that in a deposition pursuant to a civil case, and you cannot subsequently prosecute him 10 years later just because new prosecutors are in their office and the climate is such that warrants prosecuting him at this time. Supreme Court ordered that it be overturned immediately and that he not be retried. I believe he served just under 3 years on a 10-year sentence. Now, from an editorial perspective, do I think the prosecutor made a mistake? Yes. The prosecutor probably should have never granted or promised Mr. Cosby and his lawyers that they would never prosecute him such that he could testify in the civil case. I think if they would have left it alone, not got involved in the civil case would have found its way through the courts. Mr. Cosby may have invoked his right against self-incrimination. The plaintiff in that case may or may not have won the civil judgment. The case could have settled. Who knows what could have happened? And then, had that happened, the prosecutor still would have been able to prosecute Mr. Cosby criminally, and if convicted, have that judgment stand as opposed to being overturned on appeal. What do you think?